Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Grief Drums, and welcome back to another episode of Top 3 Tips. This is a video series in which, as the name suggests, I come to you each week with 3 brand new tips to hopefully help improve your game. If you want to get involved, you can get in touch with me on Discord, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Just check out Grief Drums, come over there, drop me a message, send me any pictures or videos that you've got, and hopefully you can be included in a future video. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into this week's tips. So for tip number 1 today, we are going to be taking a look at Lesion, and this is specifically a Macie Jay tip that he dropped on Twitter earlier on, and it's a really nice tip that's going to be brilliant for people to be able to utilize, specifically to counter Lesion and to be able to spot whereabouts his goo mines actually are. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick breakdown of it, we're going to discuss it, and I'm going to throw a couple of Lesion goo mines out, and then we're going to take a look at this tip and see how it can be implemented. So first up, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this room. Now, we can pretty much make out whereabouts it is. If you do struggle to find these, this is hopefully going to make it a hell of a lot clearer. What I've done is I've gone ahead and gone on to tactical realism, because I'm doing this on my own, just so that we don't have the little notification exactly where the Lesion goo mine is. But what we can do is by ADSing, if you move your cursor around, as you go over the goo mine, you'll notice that the actual reticle on the site itself, it blurs a little bit, and it's actually reflected by the goo mine itself and that invisibility cloak that's on the goo mine. So when you hover over the top of the goo mine, at the bottom right, your aiming reticle will be doubled. It will happen. And as you can see, where it's being doubled, that's exactly where the goo mine is, so you now know where to shoot. I'm going to go ahead and do it over on this one over here as well. If you keep a real close eye on the actual aiming reticle itself, when we get over to here, you'll notice that the bottom of it starts to become blurred, and then, yeah, it goes completely doubled, I guess is the term. And then we just know that it's there. And this is going to be huge, you know, if people start implementing this into their arsenal, it's definitely going to make it a lot easier. Now, I know for a fact that, obviously, if you're in the heat at the moment, it's not going to be any good to you. You know, you can have a quick look at the stairs, you're not going to be able to see it. If it's in barbed wire, it might make it a little bit harder as well. But if you've got the opportunity to sort of just have a quick scan, you can see it. This is going to be really handy for, like, searching long hallways if you know it's clear and you think there's a goo mine down there somewhere, or if you just happen to spot that your aiming reticle doubles up at some points. We found both of those pretty easily right there. So hopefully, this is something you can utilize. Full props to Macie Jay for this. This is a really nice one. And it's going to be really handy as an attacker if you get the opportunity to use it. Obviously, in the video, Macie Jay showed that he was doing it with a reflex sight. And I wanted to just go ahead and showcase this as well. He did write it in the tweet. If you're using any other scope, it still works. You'll notice that the reticle is almost blurred all around it with this holographic sight. It still works. It doesn't have to be the reflex, and it doesn't just apply to Lesion goo mines. This also works for echo drones as well. Because of that invisibility that's on it, once it gets to the roof and it actually turns invisible, as you'll see here, as soon as you go ahead and aim at it, even with the ACOG, you'll notice that it blurs very slightly around the edges of the ACOG, and it's not clean, defined lines on the site, and it gives away exactly where it is. Even from the other side of the room, I can come all the way over here, aim up at it, and you'll notice that it does go blurry. Now, I appreciate I've got all the time in the world on custom games to utilize this and have a look for that, you know, echo drone. Hell, I even know where it is because I placed it there. But this may be of benefit to you. If you suddenly think, why is my crosshair gone weird? Now you know why. It could be an echo drone, it could be a Lesion goo mine, and it could give you that tiny bit of advantage that you need to win a round. The final thing about all of this is it doesn't just apply to the sights either. You can also utilize laser sights for this. I know, right, most people wouldn't want to touch a laser sight with a barge pole, but if you do really struggle to find these and you are careful about where you're placing it on door frames, for example, you can actually utilize laser sights to your advantage, and it's even clearer than on the reticles themselves. You just don't ADS, you literally just hold your laser over it, and you can see exactly where that Lesion goo mine or echo drone is. So for the next tip, we're going to go on over to Oregon, and we're going to take a look at the street spawn specifically. There's a lot of different ways that defenders can hold angles, and this is a bit of a, well, like most of the spawns really, as soon as you start moving forward, you're viable to get peeked from. So There are some vehicles and stuff in the way. You do have to be a little bit worried about the window, but not too much from this side. It's very rare that you'll get peeked from over there. However, we all know that the big tower itself, you've got this window up here is dangerous. This window is here. And then you've got both of these here. And the biggest culprit that I seem to be seeing just lately is people coming out of this door down at the bottom of the big tower. It's just so many people seem to come out of there and try and get a dirty little peek from down there. So when you do spawn here, a lot of people try and contest this from back here. There's not a lot of cover. You're viable to getting shot, and you're pretty much just guaranteed to die if you don't land your shot. So one good thing you can try is if you turn all the way to the right, you'll notice there's this police car over here. It kind of looks like it's not usable. I mean, I never ever go over there, but I saw this a little while back and thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. And you can just vault onto it. You can literally just come over to this police car, vault onto it, and although it's not brilliant for countering these windows, you are kind of coming out at a different angle that people aren't going to expect. But specifically for the door down there, who the hell is going to expect to see you here? And even if they do, you've got a lot more cover in the form of this metal roofing and this brick wall than you would if you were to try and contest it from down there. So definitely consider this one. It's kind of unexpected. It's one that not everyone knows about. And if you're trying to contest that doorway, you can do it utilizing this car just for that little bit of elevation and that little bit of extra cover. Now, just for the purposes of being thorough, I know this is going to upset some people out there that think I try and drag these videos out. I really don't. I want to try and showcase every angle and what it looks like from both perspectives. And as a defender, if you're coming out here to spawn peek this area, I want you to be able to see what to look out for if you're trying to actually get away with the spawn peek. So you will see someone just run across just down there. Dom's helping me out on this one. And as you can see, it's a pretty spicy angle. It's something you're not really going to expect to see. So maybe it's something you can utilize. So the final tip for today's video is going to see us over on Outback. This is going to be an angle you can utilize as pretty much any operator, whether you're attacking the office and party room or whether you're actually just trying to hold an angle and stop them rotate if your teammates are pushing the bull. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and showcase this by showing that Dom is running around inside of the office itself, and if you just break open the top of this window, you get a bit of a line of sight through into the office just outside of electrical. You will have seen this gun just there sticking around the corner, and I can just wait here until he comes back into view, which eventually he's liable to do. I mean, at this point he lays down because he thinks that I'm somewhere else while we're filming this tips and tricks video. But as you can see, this gives a really clear view into that office. Predominantly when people come up to this window, they don't rappel, and as a result this vending machine just here is blocking their view, and it becomes very difficult for people to actually do anything from this window. A simple rappel up just means that you can look over the top, and whether you're trying to actually attack the office itself or whether you're trying to catch someone rotating up through garage, they're going to go through either the double window or through the single door, and you have a good line of sight onto both of those in a pretty unexpected spot. As you can see from here, playing as a defender, you're unlikely to pay attention to the top of that window. I know for a fact that I rarely look up at the top of it because most people don't hold this angle. And now that they know about it, it's definitely something to keep your eye on. Whether you're rappelling upside down outside or rappelling the right way up, the view that you can get if there is a rotate in the party room itself, some teams seem to put this on the left-hand side of the wall so they get a good long line of sight all the way down to the garage. And if I go ahead and open that up, you'll see why it's not exactly the best place for a rotate now that I know about that angle. Anyone that hunkers down inside of the party room by these boxes for cover, you are then viable to getting headshot or just absolutely destroyed. Now what I will do is I'm going to go ahead and shoot from outside. I'm going to just shoot into the various rooms so you can see exactly where the bullets land and how far I can see. This is currently looking through the rotate hole that has been made on that left-hand side from the defender's perspective. And I can see all the way through to the bomb. Dom actually jumps up on top next to the bomb on top of those crates, and I can see him clear as day up there as well. And frankly, it's just a bit of a dirty angle that is going to be really beneficial to teams. Not only can you cover such a wide arc, but you can also do it from relative safety as well. The majority of your body is going to be covered, and it's just filthy how far you can actually see and how much of a wide angle onto this room you can get. Because people do rotate through electrical, people do go in and out of this door or the rotate into party room. And if your team are trying to push the garage, anyone that's trying to contest them is going to be in for a bit of a hard time doing so. I'm afraid that's going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed these tips. Hopefully they help you out in some way, shape, or form. If they did, please consider hitting that thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting subscribe to keep up to date with all things Rainbow Six. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, or alternatively, I stream 4 times a week over on Twitch on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 8 o'clock GMT through till late. You can keep up to date with all the things that are going on there. We're currently involved in the Creators Cup representing the UK. That's going to be going on this Sunday and next Sunday. We're going to be battling out against the likes of people like Zeronic and Bikini Body and Tio, just for the opportunity to play on the main stage of the Six Invitational against the NA Creators team that wins all of their rounds. I'd love to see you guys over there to show your support. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.